So what we were saying before the rain cut us off, I was saying how Prom Queen was like your first love, but Confession was more like your baby.
Yeah, I feel like I had more freedom to just... And I had this idea where I was like, I'm just going to record songs at home. And like Dan that plays in the Amity Affliction, me and him were like, oh, let's just fucking write some stuff. We're in 2 different bands. He was in a Byron Bay band.
Oh, so is he in Confession as well?
No, well, he's in Amity, but he was in Confession for like 5 years.
No way.
So then when we'd just write everything and send it back and well, not even really send it back and forth to each other. We were more so like go to a fucking studio or go into whatever house I was living at the time and record a lot of stuff ourselves. He'd go home, work on it, and then send it back to me, and we'd be like, okay, well, that's sick. So then we'd either put it on fucking MySpace or online somewhere. And then we started getting offers to tour. So then, and like Parkway offered us some stuff. D's Nuts, which was JJ from Prom's band, he offered us some stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe we'll just tour. So then we're like, oh, we'll put a band together. I think we put multiple bands together that we did photos but never that lineup ever played.
Yeah.
I think we were like trying to like put like pieces of a puzzle together that weren't really happening. Then we ran and recorded, and then just it kind of started to steamroll, and then I think, and then we started doing headline tours, and it started to do real well. But I think we hit a few hurdles where like there was a bit of infighting, and I admit I wasn't exactly the fucking best person to be in a band with sometimes, because I started a band myself, I funded a band myself, and like I needed to obviously get reimbursed for the fucking $10,000-$15,000 I spent to record the first album. Like I essentially used Prom Queen's tour money to fund Confession. Like that was the way I started the band. So then when time came in and we were going places and doing certain tours and spending more money than we were earning, it was fucking stressful. And then we did a European tour just after Kennedy was born, and the band felt that there was problems between me and them, and we were like, obviously we were fucking, there was a lot of indifference, and they attempted to kick me out. And I was like,
of your band,
of my band.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I own all of this. Like I own the name. I've registered all the name. I wasn't gonna have issues like I did in the past with Prom for certain issues when it comes to song ownership and so forth. So I made sure that I could still tour. So then put together another bunch of dudes, and then when all that worked out, we ended up with the Life and Death album, which was like the final Confession album. But even on the back of that, we still managed to do fucking like, so on the lineup before, which Dan was included in, we did like Europe like 3 times. We did Australia probably fucking 10 times plus. We never got on any of those fucking festivals. Like we couldn't get on Soundwave. And then I had dinner one night. Me and AJ that owned Soundwave at the time had a bit of beef on Twitter. We were just going back and forth, and I was fucking saying whatever. I said, you never put any Australian bands on, you fucking idiot, basically. Then I went out to dinner with my friends in the band A Day to Remember, and they were like...
You know your Day to Remember.
Yeah, because us and Prom, and like we'd done Confession did tours with them, and I remember the first time we went out, Prom, Confession, Parkway, A Day to Remember, Suicide Silence did a tour. And then, and Acacia Strain. So then they were like, fucking, we're obviously introducing ourselves, and they were like, we used to come watch Prom Queen in Florida. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, when we were kids, we'd go to the fucking halls he has played and come watch it. And I was like, that's fucking nuts.
That's a trip.
Because I was like, this band's about to blow up. So then we just stayed friends. Like, and then... Yeah, we're at this dinner in Northbridge, actually, at some Italian joint. And I remember because fucking AJ walked in with fucking System of a Down, and I was like, oh, do I do the fucking funny System of a Down voice? and then they were like, oh, fucking he came over and stuff, and they were like, oh, do you know Crafter? And then AJ's like, oh, hey mate, how you going? Blah blah blah, little bloke like with a silly hat on. And then we had a bit of a yarn and stuff, and I was like, oh, fucking, you should put us on, joking around. And then I remember I messaged him on Twitter when the next Soundwave came around and it was coming up. And I was like, are you, and I was like, super blunt, are you putting us on, ? And he's like, okay. And that was it. And I was like, did I just get us on Soundwave by using Twitter? And then, I didn't hear anything. No money offer, nothing. Fly comes up. Fucking our name's on the flyer.
No way.
And I'm like, they've not had any correspondence with me whatsoever.
This is with Prom Queen.
No, this is with Confession.
This is with Confession.
Yeah. So then I'm like, kind of mind blown. I remember we're on tour and the flyers come out and we're on the flyer and I'm like, fuck, somehow my shit talk on Twitter has finally got us on this festival. And I remember that year it was big, it was the biggest it ever was, and probably the biggest festival you could put together. It was fucking, as far as big bands, Metallica
played at a Soundwave.
Yeah, Metallica, Blink-182, Linkin Park.
What year was this?
Oh, 2013, 2012.
That's such a big lineup.
Oh, it was like it was like the biggest fucking thing ever. And then on another stage was Bring Me the Horizon and Amity were fucking on their own stage. And then there was trying to think who else was on it. It was the biggest fucking, it was every band on the planet. It was the biggest fucking thing ever. And then a year went past again. And then the next Soundwave came, and that was the Slipknot, I think Marilyn Manson and stuff year. And I messaged again, and I was like, we on? And he's like, yep. And then Fly comes out, and we're on Soundwave again. So, I remember when we played Sydney on the first one, it was probably...
Cypress Hill was on one of those.
That was that year too. Yeah, because I remember I went to the sideshow the first year. I went to the sideshow, and it was I've never smelt so much weed.
You got a contact high.
It was literally, I stood by the back door and I just remember them pretty old dudes, and it was just them, all their posse, and all just
chuffing up.
All chicks. I was like, these dudes are 50 odd, and they're just all these basically strippers standing on stage. Good on them. Because the whole place was stoned.
Yeah, right.
It was wild. And I was like, this is crazy. These dudes are just... if I was a weed smoker and playing in a fucking band, it'd be the best show in the world to go to. They're just passing joints to randoms like that.
Yeah, I heard that show was fucking crazy.
Whatever that fucking... What's the main singer? The main tall dude with the weird funny voice?
Oh, fuck. I wouldn't be able to tell you his name.
Yeah, I can't remember. But he literally was the stonedest dude. Literally, he was. His eyes were fucking shut, and there's 3,000 people inside, I think Melbourne Town Hall or one of them fucking venues in the city. And I was like, this is wild. Rap's huge, and it was just crazy because they were on Soundwave. So that was
it was a real odd. It was an odd place to put them.
And I remember that the massive thing for me for that time, me and Aaron from Amity were walking, and I can't remember why, what or where we were going, but I remember I seen Chester from Linkin Park in the corner of my eye, and I was walking, and I said to String, I was like, no, I got to sweat this cunt and get a photo. So I've turned around, and I was like, hey man, can we get a photo? And he's like, yeah, so me and Aaron got photos with him, and then obviously years later, not even that long after, I think it might have even only been a year or two, when he took his own life. So it's I've got this photo of someone that is literally smiling in every photo he takes. That's obviously got battles behind closed doors.
That was a really fucking big. That was a big one for a lot of people.
Because I think it doesn't matter the money, the success, the life, the kids, the wife, all this stuff this guy had. The demons that are there are fucking just wild. And then the fucking the rabbit hole of stuff that was being said also, like all these people. The conspiracy shit was just like, I was like, fuck.
Just
like,
let the bloke's memory be like normal instead of saying, oh, it was a conspiracy because of this, and that. The bloke just was having a tough time.
What about, like, if there's anything on the internet that's like, this person has died, like, rest in peace. People are like, did they get the jab? That person died in a car crash. Like,
but did they get the jab?
Did they get the jab? Is that why they died? Like, I see it all the time. It's like something will come up and they'll be like, but someone that's committed suicide. Like, I've seen a few things recently of people that have committed suicide, and there's literally on the bottom of the news story, they always put the Beyond Blue stuff and they always put the contact numbers and that, and people are like, did they get the jab? I'm like, shut the fuck up.